So much news is happening right now. I just wanted to make sure this has your attention. Now, you may have been hearing lately about a bill that's moving through Congress called the SAVE Act. And depending on who you're hearing about it from, you might be pretty confused about what it actually does. So first things first, it stands for Safeguard American Voter Eligibility. Republicans are claiming the bill will protect and safeguard our elections from fraud, but given the fact that voter fraud is exceedingly rare, is this a solution in search of a problem? Let me explain. According to the Brennan Center, incidents of voter fraud are vanishingly rare, despite the constant insistence by President Trump about rigged elections. How rare? Well, as Jamel Bowie of the New York Times put it,
voter fraud is not a problem in the United States. You personally have a higher chance of getting hit by lightning than there is of someone casting a fraudulent ballot.
But in addition to perpetuating this false notion that this is a problem, the solution Republicans are seeking will result in actually preventing an untold number of eligible voters from exercising their constitutional right. The SAVE Act that already was passed by the House isn't just about showing a driver's license at the polls. It would require Americans to provide very specific proof of citizenship, a passport or a birth certificate when registering to vote. But here's the thing. About half of Americans don't even have a passport, and it costs between $165 and $276 to get one. A lot more if it's expedited. And birth certificates? Millions of Americans lack ready access to that document. But the real snag is that scores of women who got married and took their husbands' names, and their current names don't match the name on their birth certificate. Replacing them would be a nightmare, not to mention the bureaucratic burden all of these changes are going to take on state and local election officials. SAVE supporters also say this is about protecting elections from non-citizen voting. But state audits of millions of voter rolls over the years have only turned up a handful of suspected cases of non-citizens voting, and often no evidence that a ballot was actually cast. That's right, a handful. And by the way, the Republicans pushing for these measures are the very same ones who have reduced federal support for election cybersecurity and weaken the infrastructure that protects against actual attacks. So is this really about safer elections or an end run by the GOP scared to death they're going to get clocked in the midterms? And the fewer people vote, the better it is for them. Despite the president's urging, Senate Majority Leader John Thune said there are not enough votes in the Senate to pass the SAVE Act. But Donald Trump reportedly is making other plans. According to ABC News, he's reviewing a draft executive order that would allow him to declare a national emergency that would allow him broad powers over voting, claiming that China interfered with the 2024 elections, despite no evidence backing that up. Oh, and a quick reminder, the Constitution gives the states, not the federal government, the power to run elections. So stay tuned and pay attention.